What's up guys, it's Mindset Performance Coach Adam Carmill here, and in today's video we're going to talk about the third skill to become a poker athlete, which is focus. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the poker athlete concept, I did a Becoming a Poker Athlete video there which talks about the frameworks where I came up with these ideas and how it can help you to become a better poker performer. In short, if you guys haven't watched that video, a poker athlete is all about training your mind and body for elite poker performance. And to do that, you need to identify key skills that you need to be working on in training and progressing those at a consistent rate. There are 6 skills for the mind and there are 2 skills for the body. Today, we're going to talk about the third skill for the mind, which is focus. We're going to cover 4 key concepts, and I'm going to hopefully break those down to some ideas that you guys haven't heard before and that you guys can take action on. And then, if you guys stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys 5 steps you can take to walk away from this video to start training your focus in-game right away. Alright, so focus. I'm sure you guys agree, when focus is high, performance is high, right? When you're able to focus at a good level, generally that correlates with a good performance. If you want to be an elite level poker player, you need to train your focus, right? I use the word train very specifically because your focus is like a muscle. If you train it, it gets stronger and you can use it better. If you don't train it, it becomes very weak and all of a sudden you struggle to use it when it matters. And the problem is, most people train the ability to be distracted. All right, we spend most of our lives on our phones, on social media, multitasking. As a result, we train ourselves to be in a distracted state. Then we sit down to play poker and we wonder why we can't focus, why we can't concentrate, why our mind is wandering. All right, so today I'm going to break down what goes on with focus, what we need to be paying attention to and training in order to, over time, build a very strong focus muscle. All right, so the first thing you need to be aware of for focus is attention. All right, now attention, picture it like a laser beam. All right, it's very narrow and it's very intense. All right, where is your attention? All right, where's the focal point of your vision? All right, or your mental attention? All right, so for example, I have a pen here. My attention right now is on the pen. All right, I'm holding my attention there. All right, now with attention, there is 2 sub-skills within it. All right, and I'm sure you guys can agree. You want to hold your attention where you want it. All right, so the first goal of attention is to direct it. All right, so goal number 1, you want to be able to direct your attention on what you want. So you want to pay attention to a poker table, you want to be able to pay attention there. If you want to switch your attention to what's going on over there, you want to be able to switch it. All right, so to direct where you're shining this laser beam of attention. All right, so number 1 is direct. All right, now what you'll find is, even if you get good at directing your attention, you can't hold it there indefinitely. All right, so I'm going to now direct my attention to this pen. As much as I try, I'm obviously shooting a video which makes it harder, but as much as I try to hold my attention just on that pen, at some points my attention will drift. A thought will pop into my head. I'll get hungry if I go long enough, and something will come into my attention. Now, did I control that process or not? And the answer is generally no. So directing my attention I did control, but the ability to hold my attention I don't control. All right, so the second skill of attention is the ability to sustain attention. All right. So if you want very good focus, this is where we need to start. We need to first of all understand how to direct our attention on what we want, and then to sustain it for long periods of time. All right. So this is the first concept. The second thing we need to be aware of is our peripheral awareness. All right, and the best way to explain this is almost like your pop-ups on your browsers or your tabs in the background. All right, so you've got what's at the front of the frame, maybe the tab in front of your face, and then you've got all the background stuff going on. Now, in your peripheral awareness lies all your distractions. Anything that's going to distract you is in your peripheral awareness. It's going on in the background. And in this peripheral awareness, your mind is trying to decide, is this important? Is this relevant? Is it needed? Does it need more attention? If anything in peripheral awareness gets tagged as important by your subconscious mind, it gets thrown to the front of the lens, and then it becomes your center of your attention. All right. So to play this out in a poker scenario, let's say my attention is on the poker tables. I'm focusing on the poker tables. That is my attention directed. I'm trying to sustain my attention on the poker tables. However, I realize I haven't eaten today and I get hungry. In my peripheral awareness, hunger is ticking along. And then my mind decides hunger is very important, and all of a sudden, I'm thinking about how hungry I am. What should I eat? And that poker hand is now somewhere at the back, all right? And we're toggling between them, all right? So we need to be aware that our attention is always drifting, all right? And we need to get good at directing our attention and sustaining it. And the obstacle to sustain our attention is what's going on in our peripheral awareness. And if the problem with most people is they don't realize they're distracted until it's too late. So with peripheral awareness, we need to get very good at observing. All right, we need to observe what's going on. We need to be able to hold our attention on the front of the frame. Like for you guys, imagine you're playing one poker table and your attention on that. But you have 3 other tables around the screen. They're in your peripheral awareness. We need to be aware of those whilst being zoomed in on this one. All right, so it's almost like having a zoomed in and zoomed out gaze. All right, you're not too zoomed in, but you've got high focus. All right, so with peripheral awareness, we need to observe what's going on. All right. If we are not observing what's going on in our peripheral awareness, we get distracted. All right. So to use the example again of me playing a poker hands and I'm focused on the tables, if I'm observing my peripheral awareness, I will notice a small inkling of hunger. Oh, I'm getting a little bit hungry, and I'll watch that and I'll bring my focus back. If I did not observe that hunger feeling will get intense over some point, and then that will switch subconsciously to become the center of my attention. All right. So by observing our peripheral awareness, we start to gain control of it. All right. I'll talk you through a 5-step process at the end to work on that. All right. Then we've got our alertness. All right. Now think of your alertness as your energy available to focus. All right. So when you're very alert, you have heightened energy and heightened energy to direct to the tables. When you're not very alert, you have a low level of alertness. You haven't got much energy, so your focus drifts more frequently. All right. So alertness can either be high or it can be low. And a lot of players try to focus when their alertness levels are low. And guess what? It's really hard. I'm not saying you can't focus when your alertness is low, but it's really hard. Say you've had a bad night's sleep, you wake up, you're tired, and you sit down at the poker tables. And you're like this, lean on your hands. I can't focus today. Really can't get into it. Your alertness levels are super low. That means the energy available to consciously control your focus. Remember, focus is like a muscle. It's like going into the gym and your muscles being very tired. It's like your focus muscle. The ability to direct your attention and to sustain it is very low because you've got low alertness. As a result, you can't put much effort in, all right? Or you can't hold your focus. You're distracted. Thoughts are popping up left, right, and center. You're like, God, I can't focus today, all right? So you be aware of what level of alertness. Is it high? Is it low, all right? No prizes for guessing which one you want, all right? And the fourth concept I want to talk about today is recharge, all right? We need to be able to recharge our focus muscle, all right? Now, to use the analogy of the gym, if you go into the gym and you're trying to build big biceps, let's say, all right? You'll go in, you'll do a lot of bicep curls, you will leave the gym, hopefully if you've done a good workout, and you will have torn all your muscle fibers, all right? You've actually destroyed a lot of the muscle fibers, torn them, broken the fibers. If you do not recover, you're in a worse situation than you were before you started, all right? Because what you've done is you've created a stimulus for the muscle, but all the growth of that muscle happens during the recharge, all right? All the growth of that muscle happens during recovery, when you're sleeping, when you're eating good proteins, the rebuilding process. If you do not give your muscle that time, it will not regrow, all right? It will not grow stronger. It'll actually get weaker over time. You see people overtrain, their performance actually goes down rather than up, all right? Now, when it comes to focus, we need to realize that taking time away from focus is very, very important, all right? One of the best concepts you guys can install into your minds with focus is when your attention is narrow, and in particular your visual field is narrow. So let's say I'm playing online poker and the screen is right there. That is narrowing my focus. So I'm basically straining the focus muscle when my attention is at a short range and my visual field is at a short range on a certain point. If I want to recharge my focus muscle, like give it a break, I want to reset the visual field, generally like looking out into the distance, into a larger visual field to almost like relax the muscle. All right, so when you're at a short distance, the muscle is tense, it's almost like straining the muscle and you need to relax. Focus muscle, you need to relax it by resetting your visual field. This is why getting regular breaks, going outside often is very, very important. All right, so we've got 4 concepts that you need to master to be very, very good at focus. First one, where your attention is. directing your attention, first of all, and then sustaining it, all right? And you can train yourself to do this both out of game and in game. I'm gonna give you guys 5 steps to train your focus in game in just a second. Then we've got your peripheral awareness, all right? You need to observe what is going on in the background so that it doesn't become a distraction and it's too late. Very often we get lost in thoughts because we're not observing our peripheral awareness. Meditation covers both of these. So when you're meditating, that's exactly what you're doing. You're basically closing your eyes, you're watching your thoughts pop up, which is trying to direct your attention on your breath. You're basically watching your breath come in and out and trying to watch your thoughts. Your thoughts are your peripheral awareness. Every now and again, the peripheral awareness jumps to the front of the lens, which captures your attention. And you go, oh, well, that's my thoughts. Oh shit, I was meant to be focused on my breath. And you switch your attention back. All right, the better you get at that skill set, the better you can sustain your attention over time. All right, then we talk about alertness. All right, dialing alertness up to be more focused, more energy available. When alertness is low, your energy available to focus is lower. As a result, peripheral awareness beats attention. All right, you get distracted very easily when alertness is low. And then we've got recharge. If you're not recharging, you're going to burn out. All right, and you won't be able to hold focus for a long time. All right, so fitting in regular breaks, resetting the visual field, allow you to focus for longer. All right, let's go through 5 steps you guys can take away today to start working on your focus. All right, so step 1 is to make sure alertness levels are high before you start playing. All right, there's no good starting a poker session if you're not feeling alert. All right, you've got to energize your body and mind and prime it to be ready to play. Whether that's having a coffee, whether that's having a cold shower, whether that's going for a run, you've got to ramp up your alertness if it's too low. If your alertness is too high, you want to dial it down. Let's say you're really hyped up, you're really agitated, come on, let's go. You might want to use some slow breathing to lower it. All right, but get in touch with your alertness levels and ask myself, how alert am I feeling right now before the session? If it's low, you want to do something to dial it up. If it's too high, you want to do something to dial it down. But make sure your alertness levels are high or on the higher side for you before you play. Next one, give the mind a focal point. All right? The mind is this wandering machine. It drifts off, thoughts just pop up everywhere. If we don't give it a focal point, you always get lost in something, some sort of thought. And very often it's not relevant to your performance. So give the mind a focal point, generally something very specific. Like, I'm going to focus on just this hand. I'm going to try to guess what my opponent's range is. I'm going to ask questions that get my mind engaged in just this hand right now. All right? Give your mind a constant focal point. And generally asking yourself questions allows your mind to focus down. All right? What's my opponent got here? What's his range? But give it something very specific and decide before your session what your focal point is for this session. All right? It's very important to do this. You're anchoring your focus to something. If not, it's going to drift off. All right? So you get a focal point. Next one. Very, very key. Spot when the mind has wandered. Spot when the mind has wandered. That's it, right? This is your peripheral awareness. Something's distracting in the background. You're going to observe it and spot, that distraction is now front of mind. Okay? So spot the mind has wandered. That's it. Get good at spotting first. So you're trying to focus on a poker hand, and now you're thinking about, should I watch Twitch? Should I watch YouTube? Oh, I need to message my friend back. What am I having for lunch? You've noticed that you're wondering. Boom, you spot it. Well done. Next. Bring attention back to the focal object, all right? Don't judge it. Don't say it like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Actually acknowledge in a good way, yes, I've spotted my mind wandered, back to the poker tables. No judgment, and actually reward the fact that you've spotted it. Very, very important. Because if you reward the fact that you've spotted your attention drifted, that reinforces to the mind that spotting your mind wandering is important, all right? That's what you want to reinforce. So your mind's wandered, you bring it back and you reinforce, this is the focal object, well done. My mind drifted off, which is normal, I'm a human, but I brought it back, awesome, well done. That reinforces that whole process. And then finally, you want to keep score of spotting the mind wandering, all right? You want to make it a game, all right? You want to train this muscle of focus every single session you play. When the mind wanders off, you want to keep bringing it back and then keep score. How many times did I spot my mind wandering today? If the answer is 20, awesome. You did 20 reps for the brain. You did 20 focus reps for the brain. Amazing. If you finish a session and you went, I didn't spot my mind wandering once. I got lost and thought too much. Oh, you lost that round. Okay, you got no score in that one. Unless you were completely in the zone for the whole session, which is rare, you missed those opportunities. So next session, keep score. And the goal is to keep score of your mind wandering. And if anything, high scores are good to begin with. And then as you get good at spotting it and bringing it back, your scores start to get lower because your mind wanders less frequently. All right? So make sure the alertness levels are high. Pick a focal point. Spot when the mind has wandered. Bring your attention back to the focus object and keep score and make it a game. By doing that, you're training your focus in-game every session you play. All right, you're doing reps for this focus muscle, which is super, super important. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to learn more about the poker athlete concept, just click on the link below and should take you through to a website which will tell you all about the poker athlete and how you can train yourself to become an elite poker athlete who trains themselves to perform at a high level. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash the like button. There's going to be the other skills. So this is skill number 3. It's going to be the other 8 skills will be in the description. You guys can click on those to watch videos similar to this, and you guys can start leveling up all 8 skills needed to become an elite poker athlete. Thanks for watching, guys. Smash the like button before you go. Drop a comment if you got some value from this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.